All right, guys, welcome in. The Whiskey Cops here. Today we are going to talk about and do some tasting of a bottle of Weller 12-year bourbon. Fantastic stuff. So, yeah. And as always, we recommend you, of course, drink responsibly and only drink if you are of age. But yeah, tell us how you were able to find this bottle. How did you get a hold of that bottle?
So I was shopping at my local grocery store, and they have a liquor section, and I just walked up and like, hey, do you guys have any Weller 12-year? I've been looking at it for a couple of years, actually. And they said, nope, we sure don't. And I said, well, okay then. They gave me a sticky notepad, though, and said, hey, if you put down your phone number, we'll call you when we get it in, if we get it in. I said, what does it hurt? Didn't think they'd actually do it. I'm trying to sleep in because, work late nights.
Shift work,
right, at its finest, and I forget to put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and I get a phone call from an unknown number. Thankfully, it's the grocery store saying, hey, buddy, we got your Weller 12-year. And I got to tell you, got it for a pretty sweet deal.
Yeah. And then what did you end up paying for it?
So I paid $49.99.
Okay, and that's a little bit above MSRP. So MSRP for a bottle of Weller 12-year is about $44.95. And again, that's as of the time that we're recording this. It could be different if you're watching this 10 years down the road or whatever. But yeah, would you, knowing now, I know that we're about to try it here in a second, but knowing that, would you pay over MSRP $5? Would you pay that again?
100%.
100%.
I don't know many bourbon lovers that wouldn't pay $50 for this bottle.
Yeah, I think I could attest to that. I think that's definitely worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's definitely worth it. What kind of flavor notes are we going to have in this bottle here?
So it's Buffalo Trace, right? It's a wheated bourbon, so I'm thinking a sweet profile. It's a 90 proofer, so I don't think it's going to be scathing the skin off my tongue or anything like that. I think it'll be a pleasant sip. If you were to compare it to Eagle Rare, which is a little bit easier, hard to find, I'm thinking like that, grape, berries. It's 12 years old, which is crazy. Like, how many 12-year wheated bourbons do you know of, period, let alone for $50?
Yeah, not a lot.
I can't think of many.
I can't think of another for $50.
I can think of Rebel 10-year, 2 years younger, twice the price, $100.
Wow.
Yeah. So I do think there's going to be some oak presence at 90 proof. It could either go the way of way too strong because there's not enough other flavors being amped up by the proof, or it could just be a nice accentuation of the flavors.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, should we try some?
Absolutely.
All right, let's do it.
All right, let me pour you up here. Let me serve you. Let me get you going here. There we go.
Excellent.
Nectar of the gods, baby.
Perfect.
All right, here we go. Get a little swirly swirl.
Yeah, that does look good.
So I like to roll them. Get the aromas all up in the glass here. I will say, it looks... I drink a lot of barrel-proof bourbon. I love the full flavors you get from that. Just color-wise, not that color is everything. It does look a little lighter.
It does, yep.
It looks like a crazy thought. Water was added because guess what? Water was added as a 90 proofer.
Yep.
But hey, if it smells good and it tastes good, I really don't care.
Yeah, it smells good.
I get the grape. I know it's real easy to say. The Buffalo Trace is notorious for a grape scent. I'm definitely getting a little grape on there.
It's definitely got a good fruitiness to it. It smells delicious.
Yes. I get some blackberry. Get some blackberry in there. A berry medley. At this proof point, is one berry strand going to pop over the next? I don't know. Blueberry, blackberry, grape.
And there's not like, you can, like that kind of like alcohol smell, like you can kind of barely get some of that in there. Like it's which I know it's a 90 proof, so it's not going to be crazy high anyways.
Yep.
But it smells like it's going to taste smooth, if that makes sense.
100%.
Yeah.
I'd be very surprised if I don't love this.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much. I don't want to prime my mind and set myself up for a false reality, but darn it, it smells good.
And for me, this is personally, the first time I've had a Weller 12-year.
Okay.
So I'm excited to experience this.
Yes.
But yeah, well, cheers. Should we try it?
Absolutely.
That's very smooth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of that will come from just being aged for 12 years. You're going to get a lot of that smoothness in there.
So I get a confectionery sugar out of it. Like I think of just like a vanilla birthday cake that you'd make in the oven.
Yeah.
A little bit of that. I love the combinations of strawberry and cream, like just dipping strawberries in cream. I kind of get a little bit of that. It is very light on the tongue. I don't have a big problem with that. I think if you were to blind this against something that's fuller proof, that's more viscous, it might present itself a little bit more as, I don't want to even say a flaw because I don't think it's a bad thing.
No.
I will say that it is light.
Yeah, it is light.
Yeah.
It's a good starter. You know, it's a good starter. If you're gonna sit down and drink bourbon, I mean, you can see we got a lot of bottles behind us here. We both have been collecting bourbon. You a lot longer than me. How many years did you say you've been collecting bourbon? 5 years?
5 years.
5 years. I'm probably on year 3.
Yeah.
I mean, between the two of us, we have a couple hundred bottles of bourbon.
Yes.
And we do really enjoy it. We don't judge people that put ice in it. I think you should drink bourbon the way you want to drink it.
Absolutely.
As long as you're not mixing it with Coke. If you're mixing good bourbon with Coke, that's a problem, I think. But yeah, we both like to drink it straight usually and sit down. And sometimes I'll have a cigar with it. But
yes, please don't mix this with Coke.
Yeah, don't do that.
In our professional experiences, we consider that a crime.
Yes.
Bad idea.
Correct.
Don't do
Correct.
that.
Yep.
Yes.
Correct. 100%.
I would say it's the easiest flavor probably to pull out, but doesn't mean it's not true. Caramel. I think there's some caramel on that. And I think coming with the lighter feel on the palate, it reminds me of caramel that like you pump out of a bottle that you might see like a barista pump into your latte versus like the thick one that you squeeze out. This is more the lighter caramel.
The lighter caramel. Yeah, I could see that. And honestly, I don't taste a lot of I can't taste like a specific fruit. Like if you were to ask what is the fruitiness of it. I know we were talking about kind of having a fruit medley. When I taste it, like I'm not like, oh, I can taste the fruitiness with like some grape in there. I don't taste like a specific fruit. Maybe I just need to eat more fruit in my life in general. That could be part of it. If you don't know what fruit tastes like, it's hard to pick them out, you know?
Mm-hmm. Do you get much oak on there?
Not a lot. Not a lot.
Either.
And I think that's because a lot of a lot of it I think is how it's aged and just it's not a super strong, it's not an overpowering bourbon.
No, it doesn't strike me as like oak. I can feel it on the finish a little bit. If anything, it might be there to kind of round out the very end of the sip so it just doesn't come off as complete sweetness in a cup.
Yeah.
It is aged in wood after all, so it's not a bad thing at all to have that. But I think honestly, most people, especially if you're early in your whiskey journey, oak is something you kind of work your way up to. Yeah. Not having it be like tasting note 1 or 2 is probably a good thing for most people.
That's true. Yeah, honestly, I think if you decided today to go out and start your bourbon journey and you saw a bottle of Weller 12 on the shelf, I think that would be a fantastic bottle to start with.
And then I'd go buy a lottery ticket because it is my lucky day.
Yeah, and then buy a lottery ticket. So, yeah, you said you were looking for this for 2 years?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm jealous. This is from his collection, so I am jealous of that. But, oh, what a beautiful bottle.
Get a little bit of cinnamon in there, too. I'm liking that. A little bit of caramel, a little bit of vanilla. I really think it's the berries, the grape, the sweetness. If you've been fortunate enough to have Eagle Rare, I think this is it's $5 more than Eagle Rare on MSRP. So in theory, they should be comparable, right?
Yep.
And I'd say that they are. I would say though that the sweetness punches through even more clearly on this, even though it's aged for 2 more years. I don't know how they do it. Maybe it's the wheated bourbon versus the non-wheated.
Yep.
But this is excellent. You know, you asked like if I'd pay $50 for it. If I'd never had it, okay. Stay with me. If I've never had it, and I really want it, and I'm in a state that doesn't tax you out the wazoo for liquor sales, I'd probably go up to 100.
You go up to 100 for it.
So if you do the 10 years per year, $120.
Yeah.
So $100. I feel like you're still coming out top by that basic math.
Yeah.
I would. Not saying to you to do it. And if I was willing to do that earlier in my whiskey journey, I probably would have got before 2 years. So.
That's true. Yeah.
Everyone's finances are different. Do as you will. I will say you are finding these more and more for close to MSRP, which is nice.
That's nice. Yep. And obviously, depending on where you're at, different states have different rules. Private liquor sales versus, state sponsored and all that sort of stuff, and different allocations. So, but yeah, overall, we're saying that if you see this bottle, you should buy it as long as it's not an absolute arm and a leg.
Yes.
So I think it's worth it. I don't know. I'm going to disagree with you.
Okay.
I don't know if I would go up to 100 on it. Now, this is after tax. We're saying that out the door, $100. That's what you're saying, right? Or $100 in a low tax?
$100 in a low tax.
In a low tax. Okay.
$100 in a low tax.
Okay.
Yes.
I think,
would.
I
Yeah.
think I would do $80 in a low tax.
Okay.
But see, then it's a slippery slope because
Yeah.
if I find it for $85, I'm probably just going to jump on it because that's close enough, you know?
Yeah.
It's a slippery slope.
You're going to walk away from your
Yeah,
bottle
am I
like
going to
this
walk
for
away
$5?
from it? Yeah.
No.
You know? So it's a tough one, but yeah, it's very worthwhile. Very worthwhile.
Indeed.
Well, yeah. All right. Weller 12 year. Anything else for the good of the order?
I would say if given a pick between Weller 12 year, full proof, Antique 107, Special Reserve, so far those are the ones I've been able to try. I'd probably put Weller 12 year, honestly, as my second pick behind Antique 107. Full proof would be a close third. So if you're at an allocation drop, like if you're in a state-run state where you have to pick one or two or three of them and you can't walk away with everything that you want, I'd prioritize it as second out of the more commonly found ones.
Okay.
The 12 year, the full proof, Antique 107, and Special Reserve. Number 2, Texas Silver, not too bad. Otherwise, yeah, I'd say make a plan, because if you see these on secondary and it is $85 and you're going to put 80, put a realistic price range for yourself for what it'd be worth. You can find these at whiskey museums. They're probably going to go for closer to $150 or $200. But if you can negotiate, if you can buy a couple shelf-stable products that aren't moving very well for them, you can see that they're 10 bottles deep and say, hey, I bought 2 of these bottles that you're not moving. If I can get this one for 2/3 of what you're asking for it, and you got the money to do it, I think that might be a way to get this sooner than later in your collection.
Yep, that's a good way to do it. Yep. And it's always good, too. I mean, like we talked about, like how much we would pay for it. I would recommend, especially if you're looking for a couple of specific bottles, like have like a price range in mind. So that way when you go there, I mean, I've been in the position where I've seen a bottle that I really want and I haven't had that conversation with myself. And
I have too, yeah.
And I'm like, oh crap, and then I like start looking up online, like what's MSRP? Am I getting ripped off here? Yeah. So if you just have that range in mind, which, I mean, even if you're willing to pay above MSRP, which I think we would for the Weller 12, and you did technically spend a little bit above it, but you got a screaming deal on that, I think. Then yeah, just have that in mind. But yeah. All right. Well, that is Weller 12 year. That is our review of that. Hopefully you guys can find it. But yeah, let us know what you think down in the comments. If you were able to find a bottle of this, let us know what you guys thought of it. Did you disagree with us? Were you dead on with us? Let us know. Everyone's tasting experience is going to be a little bit different, so we're curious to know what you guys think of it. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please drop a like down below. If you haven't already, of course, hit the subscribe button up on the screen so you guys can check out more whiskey reviews and whiskey-related content in the future. But yeah, thank you guys for coming and watching. We'll see you guys in the next one.